Hello, everyone. So, I'd like to welcome you all to another chapter of the JavaScript beginners tutorial. So now we are on our chapter number 7, where I'll show you guys a different ways to write the JavaScript. Okay, so over here we will learn the different way how you can actually mention your JavaScript inside your server, and also I'll show you guys the same thing into our live server as well. So let's not waste time and let's get started. So over here on my screen, as you guys can see, I'm here in the same HTML file which we have worked in our last classes. Okay, so we do have understood about tags, we do have understood about console API, and here you guys can see that here I do have my JavaScript file. Okay, so what I did over here is basically I do have embedded my JavaScript inside the HTML file. But there are different ways of how I can basically write my JavaScript as well. Okay, so you guys can see to write the JavaScript, you guys already know that it should be just on top of your body, like where the body function is ending. Just on top of that, I need to make sure that I do type my JavaScript inside the script. Okay, so over here now there are different ways to type JavaScript or to include the same thing inside your project. Okay, so you guys can see this is how my website looks. Okay, this is the live server over here. Let me just come here, let me just refresh this one, and this is how it looks. Okay, and also over here you guys can see under the console.log I do have included one string and one number as well. Okay, so over here, instead of writing my JavaScript inside my HTML file, if I do want to put this JavaScript inside my JavaScript file itself in my VS Code, what I can do is I can come here and let me just type this new file, and let me just name this one as index.js. Okay, so over here you guys can see this file have turned into a JavaScript, and let's click on enter. And what you can do is you guys can come here, and now let's just copy this whole thing. Okay, otherwise let me just cut using Control X from our keyboard, and let's go to the index.js, and I will just click on Control V to paste it. Okay, so over here as you guys can see, now I do have it in a different file inside the same project or inside the same folder. Okay, but now how do I mention into my HTML file that, well, I do want this same JavaScript file inside my HTML file as well. Okay, because HTML file is the main website file. So from here, I will just cut this script document as well. So let's open the less than sign. And from here, now I will just type script dot sr dot src, okay, which I already do have it right over here. And as I've written this script dot src, you guys can see inside the script dot src I will mention that, well, I want index.js inside this src. So I will just mention index.js. Okay, and over here you guys can see I do have index.js, and if I just click on Control S over here, and if I just go into my website, and if I just run this particular website, you guys will be able to see that there is no major changes, or there is no changes at all inside my file right over here. So you guys can just type your JavaScript using the script src, and you guys can mention the JavaScript file which you do want to mention inside your HTML file. So in so many cases, and when you're making a big application or when you're making a big website. In that case, you will have different HTML file, you'll have different JavaScript file, you'll have different CSS file. Okay, so over here, you guys might be thinking, well, you do have mentioned the CSS over here only. Okay, like you do have mentioned it inside the HTML file itself. But as this one is just a tutorial, I'm making you guys understand that how it actually works. Okay, so for that, I do have mentioned it inside the HTML file as well. But once you're making some big files, it will be a different file as well, and you will be able to mention it inside your HTML file. Okay, so this is one way of typing these things down, and this is how you guys can actually work out right over here. So if you just want to comment out this alert option as well, Control S. Let's come over here. You guys can see you do have this comment. Let's click on OK. And here you guys can see that you are able to uh, check this particular website right over here. Okay, so you guys can take a look on your console as well to like one string, one number, one warning, and an error over here. Okay, so now let me just close this thing down and let me just comment this thing out as well. So I hope this class was clear of how you will be able to type in a different way your JavaScript inside your programming. So the first one is embedded inside your HTML file, and the next one is create a different JavaScript file and just mention the name of that new JavaScript file inside your HTML file, which is a lot better, okay, because it won't create much problem, and it is so small as well, because if you do have a lot of content inside, you guys might get a bit confused as well at times. Okay, so yeah, I hope to see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye everyone.